But we begin the second hour of the program talking about the Browns quarterback situation. Yesterday, at the first day of mandatory minicamp, remember, this is it. Today and tomorrow, and then we won't see the guys on the field again until training camp in late July. Not Kevin Stefanski. I'm used to saying Kevin Stefanski. Todd Monken
Todd
was asked if he was going to name a starter during minicamp. Do we have the quote, or you want to just say what he said?
We do. This is the quote. Todd Monken was asked, and he said, quote, "I don't really know, and I'm not going to name a number one, so that I am not going to name. Chances are that's not. I shouldn't say that. Chances are I will not. Now, once we get to the fall, we have to dissect the reps and see how we fit. I just don't see it after the way Shedeur's played and Deshaun's played. This is the important part. They both played well enough to earn the right to compete to start."
Translation, neither one's playing that well, so I can't pick a starter.
Well,
yeah.
I think Deshaun has shown that he just doesn't have it anymore.
No, he stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I read into it. Because the way that this was all being framed not that long ago, and I don't understand this, but they were pushing Deshaun.
Yeah.
Deshaun was going to start. And I think they got out on the field and said, "Oh boy."
Pump the brakes.
So,
yeah, because Todd Monken is like, well, I didn't see him every day, and this guy used to be great. He must still be great. It must be everybody else's fault, which a lot of the fans want to blame everybody else for Deshaun Watson's failures. And then Todd Monken actually saw him on the field, as you said, and said, no, he does stink. He can't play.
So now what?
I would hope they're going to do what they should have done all along, and that's let's see if we got anything in Shedeur Sanders.
Correct.
And I think it's safe to say none of us on this panel are big Shedeur believers, but I think we all agree he's the only one that has any. I don't even know if you feel this way. I think Dustin and I do at least. Yeah. There's at least a chance with Shedeur Sanders, so I might as well see it.
I've been advocating for weeks for him to start.
I know. I don't know if you think there's a chance that he's going to be any good. Even if it's a small chance, you think there's a chance, right?
I mean, yeah.
He's the only one.
There's a chance I can win the lottery
Gabriel
today.
is not a starter. Deshaun Watson stinks. He's washed up. So even if you don't think Shedeur's that good, and I'm not convinced he's that good, but I give him a chance that he could be a starter. And in a perfect world, he proves you and I wrong.
Yeah.
And he is a starter because that would put the Browns in a great position to have a starter and to have all these draft picks to use on other things. That would be great. But even if he's not, let's find out, because there's no point. And it was not even worth bringing up Dillon Gabriel because obviously he's not being seriously considered. So even if we wanted to consider him, they're not considering him. So what's the point? But to start Deshaun Watson is insane. But as I said to Dustin this morning.
So why have you come around on that? Because you pushed back on that before.
So but I've been saying this now for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
My first thought in the beginning of the offseason was, if the coach believes Deshaun Watson gives him a better chance to win, then play him.
Yeah.
But I said consistently, I think I said there was a 1% chance he could recapture what he was. So I didn't think that was the case. And unless it was clear that he was so much better, but
did the Myles
Garrett trade push me fully in the other case? I was already trending towards let's play Shedeur because what's the point?
Yeah.
But the Myles Garrett trade put me over the top because it's like, okay, well now they're not, any chance they had of being a surprise team, I think went out the window. And now the only chance of them being a surprise team is that Shedeur Sanders ends up being better than we think he's going to be.
Yeah.
So I might as well see that. And if he stinks, that's fine too, because they'll be bad and they'll draft a player. And the defense will probably still be good, but won't be good enough to bail out a horrible offense.
I mean, you don't want Deshaun Watson to play and for the team to be mediocre.
Ugh,
because
that would be terrible.
Would be terrible. Then you're mediocre means you don't have a quarterback.
Right.
And you still don't know about Shedeur
right,
because he didn't get a chance to play. So if the team's going to be kind of mid to below mid, play Shedeur, find out what we got in him, and then if you stink, then we just move on from everybody.
That's right.
We know what Deshaun is, man.
That's it.
I just don't see Deshaun having some miraculous turnaround.
It's been 6 years since he's been good.
Yeah.
We all liked the trade at the time, the three of us.
Listen, guys,
we all thought it was a good trade. It hasn't worked out.
I'm sorry. Yeah. If this guy is somehow going to turn it around, We shouldn't be getting texts that he's missing guys by 7 yards in OTA practices.
Right. And don't give me his stats with no pads. I don't care that he threw a 3-yard pass to the running back in practice. Yeah. I mean, what is that? It's telling us nothing. But yes, we're getting these texts about like just
it's
awful
not good. It's not good.
If he's ever going to turn around, it's not going to be here. First of all, I don't think he's ever going to turn around.
No.
This is what he is.
No, but secondly, you're right. It's not going to happen.
There's just too much. There's too many ghosts here. There's too much. It was never. It got off to a terrible start, and it's only gotten worse.
Has any player ever been good, been terrible, or injured for 6 years, and then been good again?
Not in football. Not that I can.
Like you can't say Sam Darnold.
Has it happened in any sport?
Chris Sale. I don't know if it was 6 years.
I don't think it was 6 years.
But it was quite a while where he was very average, and now he's elite again.
But wasn't it just injury with him?
He's still pitching?
Yeah. He's pitching great.
He's great.
He's phenomenal.
There was a guy, I was betting against him like crazy for a while there, a few years ago.
Yeah, he was not good for.
If it's going to happen in any sport, it's going to be baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But certainly I can't
Chris
think of
Sale was 5 years, Jason. You're right. Chris Sale was 5 years.
That he was bad?
Bad for 5 years.
Average to bad?
He was finished fourth.
A lot of his injuries.
He finished fourth in the Cy Young in 2018.
Yeah.
2019 was 6-11 with a 4.4 ERA.
Yeah.
Didn't play in 2020.
It was a COVID year.
His numbers were decent in 21, but he only threw 42 innings, deal with injuries. Barely played in 22, 5.2 innings pitched total. Came back in 23, his last season in Boston, 100 innings, a 4.3 ERA. And then
what was his numbers in 21 in the 45 innings? What was his ERA? I don't care about his record.
3.16.
Yeah, I mean, Sam was mostly injury.
Okay.
Whereas Deshaun,
But then 24 goes out and wins the Cy Young Award.
Yeah.
Deshaun's been mostly injury.
But Deshaun's been absolute garbage when he's played.
He's been bad, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's impossible.
It's the closest thing.
I don't think we made, and I said this at the time, I don't think we made as big enough of a deal as we should have about the shoulder injury at the time.
Yeah.
Because it was so weird for quarterbacks to have. There was no track record. This isn't an ACL where, okay, these guys have had this is the recovery. It was such a strange injury for a quarterback to have, and he's never looked like the same quarterback since then.
And now he has Achilles injuries affecting his athleticism.
But that shoulder injury, that's when he started throwing the ball 7 yards out of bounds. Was after that. And before that, he wasn't great, but he wasn't this before that shoulder injury.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, his elite arm talent's gone.
Yes.
Gone. And his athleticism's gone. Yeah. So what is he then?
I don't know. I mean,
he has to be a mental quarterback.
He'd have to be like a savant mentally.
Yeah.
I think his mental capacity, not his capacity, but his confidence is waned quite a bit.
No doubt.
Because of his
no
lack
doubt
of,
he's been affected mentally by
dude, listen, I promise you tomorrow because I've relied on my athleticism my whole life.
Yeah.
If I lost that, I'd be no good at anything I do athletically. Like in tennis, I'd have to change everything. I mean, if I was a football player still and I was had an Achilles or an ACL or something, I'd be moving to safety. I wouldn't be playing corner.
Yeah, right.
When you rely on something, you have to change everything. And like at quarterback, you can't.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not a brainiac.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brady didn't have elite athleticism, but he was so otherworldly in terms of his
Deshaun Watson had a great reputation earlier in his career of being like a really sharp guy, but
I'm sure he's sharp, but I'm saying you need to be elite.
Affected mentally, obviously by everything, but it's neither here nor there at this point.
Well, let me ask you guys a question on the mental side of Deshaun, because and Dustin, I'm glad you're here because you probably have the best ability to chime in on this. He hasn't played consistently, not just at any level, just in and out of the lineup. Since 2020, it's been 6 seasons. Defenses have changed drastically in those 6 seasons. If you're not getting live reps in that situation and going through the processing of that, you could watch film as much as you want, but until you're on the field, the live bullets are flying. You know it's not apples to apples.
Yeah.
How much of an impact do you think just the change in the NFL and how some of these defenses are operating, coverages, pass rushes, all the intricacies in that, is slowing him down from being able to trust what his eyes are seeing when he is on the field now?
Well, and on top of that, not only has the game evolved and it's changed in a lot of ways with rules and the way teams play and the way defensive coordinators disguise and all these things, when you can't attack the way that you used to with your ability, then you actually slow your mind down in a lot of ways. I mean, you can't play fast. You can't play at the level you once could because of your lack of athleticism, and then you start to question yourselves, dude. It's a snowball effect that has led to just a really poor performance, and it's the reason why I think we've seen such mediocre play. And it was rare for him to have any sort of high-level performance. I think he had a good half, maybe, right? Or
that half against the Ravens.
Against the Ravens,
yeah.
and that's not good enough, guys. It's just not enough consistency.
I just did a quick Google. 599 days. Tomorrow will be 600 days since he was on the field. Wow. Think about that. 600 days since he was on the field.
And we're talking another.
That's a 10-second Google, so I hope that's accurate.
By the time if he plays week 1, it would be roughly 700 days between games, which is crazy. I mean, it could be about another 100 days, give or take.
100, yeah,
a little less than that, but
700 days. And how much time did he miss the first time? When he sat out the year.
Oh yeah,
and then he was suspended. That had to be
probably close to the same number.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, how many games has he played with the Browns?
19.
So he's played 19 games since COVID.
Can you imagine?
19 games.
Can you imagine when they made the trade?
If you would have said 19 games.
He's going to play
in
19
5
games.
years.
Dude,
he's averaged less than 4 games per year.
Well, 4 years.
Dude, the guy's
1, 2, 3,
this
4.
is going into 5.
Oh, right.
So we haven't had.
But I'm
including.
I was including the year he sat out with Houston. But yes.
Oh yeah.
So he's averaged under 5 games per year with the Browns.
And over $10 million a game.
$12.1 million per game.
Over $10 million a game.
That's what he's made. So
Great
far.
work if you can get it.
Based on his $230 million guaranteed contract, he's played 19 games. You do the math, and it gives you 12.
So far, he's made $12 million per game. Yeah,
million per game.
Man, that's like McAfee money.
It's also $12.1 million per touchdown pass.
I was actually having this conversation with my editor today when I walked in the studio. I said, I've been trying to avoid this. Deshaun still hasn't talked.
I heard you talking about that.
And I said, I don't want to pick on him. I don't want to make this a thing, but it's weird. I ignored it through OTAs because he's the quarterback. Eventually, he's going to talk. Well, this is the last week of minicamp.
Right. Well, if he's not the starter, he doesn't necessarily.
Come on.
You're on the team, dude. Every player.
He should.
If you're in a quarterback battle,
they haven't named a starter yet. He's in a quarterback competition. Deshaun has to talk.
You would be talking.
How often has Shedeur talked?
I don't think only once since OTAs.
Has Dylan Gabriel talked?
No. But come on.
No, you're right.
So and I ultimately we fell on I'm not going to write it. I'm not going to make a big.
The Browns.
Now I'm talking about it on here.
The Browns tend to baby their players.
Jason.
But let's just keep this between us.
Keep it here.
When when you ask to do an interview with the Browns, they always give you the same players.
No, but this is different.
Yeah.
This is. I thought he would talk at some point during OTAs or minicamp. Right. If we get all the way to training camp and he doesn't talk at all.
Well, he's not going to talk this week. I can't imagine. Have you guys asked to have him talk or?
I haven't been out there. I've been busy, but I'm sure
played in 600 days and he's in a competition to be the starting quarterback.
Yeah,
it'd be nice to hear.
It is very strange.
Get a quote from that guy.
He has not talked since he was carted off the field.
Yeah,
with the first Achilles.
Yeah,
that's the last time.
Hey, dude, how you feeling?
So
it's very strange.
It's
why haven't the beat reporters asked to speak to him?
I'm sure they have.
I'm sure they have, man.
I'm sure they have.
Okay, so it's a bad job by the Browns not making him available.
I don't know. Here we are making a thing about it. I just got done telling my editor now.
Well, the Browns should have made him available,
and now we're making a thing about it.
He should be made available.
I just think
he gets to hide because people are critical of him.
I don't know.
Stolen money.
I'll tell you what. I already regret bringing this up. I should not have brought this up without having more.
It's a fair question. I mean, I don't really care in the end, but it's a fair question.
It's just odd. It's just curious.
It just tells you how soft he is.